Hello and namaste. You're watching Sameer Jasuja-PropEquity and I'm Sameer. It's Diwali time, and during the festive season, traditionally people make investments in property, and that's why real estate sales and deals in this quarter are the highest. Before you decide where to invest and make that big decision, it is important to understand which cities have appreciated the most and going forward, which cities will continue to perform well over the others. Before we share the ranking of the cities with you, let me share some key highlights and data points of the real estate industry over the last 5 years. Post COVID, the real estate sector has been the best performing industry compared to any other sector in India, and that gets reflected by the stock market too. While the Nifty 50 over the last 5 years grew by 150%, the real estate index during the same time went up by 3x more, which was 450%. While the stock market has given 17.6% returns annually over the last 5 years, the real estate has outdone it and has given 18% annualized returns in the tier 1 cities. The under construction real estate market has gone up from 2 lakh crores to a whopping 6 lakh crores during the same time frame. And in terms of number of units, we've grown from 2 lakh 50,000 units to a whopping 4 lakh 53,000 units in the same time frame. The last 5 years have been the best years in Indian real estate history, and 2023 was the peak year when launches were 4 lakh 53,000 units and sales were 5 lakh 34,000 units, and that has never happened before when the sales have been much higher than the new launches. Before we give you the details about the top performing tier 1 cities, we would like to tell you that if you need more information on any of the locations or projects which have the highest appreciation potential, please feel free to write to us at propequity.in. We track over 1,73,000 projects across 44 cities for the past 17 years. If you like our videos, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. As we always say, demand supply dynamics, employment generation potential, the population of a city, the migration in that city are the key most important factors that drive price appreciation. You will see in the data that we share that these factors have determined why certain cities have done better than the other. We will start with the least appreciating cities and then move on to the most appreciating cities. So would request you to stay on till the end so that you know which city is the best performing and where you should be putting your big bucks into. Surprisingly, the worst performing city in terms of price appreciation has been Mumbai. It has only appreciated by 7% year on year, and there are a few factors behind that. Although the population of the city is 20 million, the price over here has become quite unaffordable and it trades currently at 35,500 rupees a square foot. The second reason is there are two adjoining areas where people can afford real estate, which is Thane and Navi Mumbai. Thirdly, the city's infrastructure, where there are a lot of investments being made, still can't cope up with the growing population and because of the massive migration that continuously happens in the city year on year. The second least appreciating city is Thane, adjoining Mumbai. Even though it is very affordable and today currently trades at 11,950 rupees a square foot, it is appreciated only by 13% on a year on year basis. The main reason behind that is the demand supply dynamics. This city has an approximate population of 10 million, but it generates a supply of roughly 91,000 units year on year. And the absorption is still good over here at 98,000, but because of that large amount of supply in ratio to the population, the prices just don't go up over here. The third city which has appreciated the least is Navi Mumbai. This city today stands at 14,400 rupees a square foot on a weighted average price basis. The population of this city is only 1.5 million, and compared to that, the supply is roughly 30,000 units. Now, if you were to compare that to Mumbai, Mumbai has a population of 20 million and only supply of 35,000 units, whereas Navi Mumbai has one-tenth that population with the same amount of supply, and that's why this city is suffering. Although I think because of the Atal Setu bridge that has got recently made, the demand potential of this area is going to grow because of its proximity now getting created to Mumbai itself. But there is a large amount of supply that has also got created. Roughly 600 kilometers of space has got created in this city, and it will still take some time for the developments to catch up over there. The fourth city on the list is Calcutta. Here, the weighted average price is 7,500 rupees a square foot. The price appreciation over the last 5 years has been 14% annually. This city actually baffles me the most because it has a very low supply of 20,000 units compared to the population of 15 million people. There are two, three factors, according to me, which impact Calcutta negatively. Firstly, the commercial office space supply. Calcutta only has 40 million square feet of office supply, which is the lowest amongst all the tier 1 cities. Compare that to Bengaluru, that has 273 million square feet. That is more than 6 times the supply and much less population compared to Calcutta. This clearly shows that low employment generation and low commercial office supply can lead to lower price appreciation. The second factor is that there is no real interest amongst the top tier developers in this city, where we see them expanding nationally now, and nor are the private equity funds or banks or NBFCs looking at this city very seriously. Now let's move on to the top 5 cities in the price appreciation list. Number 5 is Pune. This city today stands at a weighted average price of 12,600 rupees a square foot, and the annual price appreciation has been a good 15% year on year. Usually, Pune doesn't appreciate that much. That is because it is considered to be an affordable city, it is considered to be a retirement hub, it is also a manufacturing hub which generates demand for affordable housing. It's also an IT generation hub. And finally, it is also an education hub. So, all the demand generators of this city are wanting real estate but at more affordable levels. So, the price appreciation in this city at 15% is quite justified. Also, the supply in this city is very healthy compared to the population. Pune has a population of 12 million and a supply of roughly 95,000 units, which is perhaps the highest in the country. And thus, it has a healthy demand supply mix. So, it has a good appreciation of 15%, not too high, not too low. The fourth most appreciating city is Chennai, which stands at 8,023 rupees a square foot on the weighted average price scale. This city has appreciated 16% year on year for the last 5 years. The main reason behind that is the low supply of only 20,000 units compared to the population of 12 odd million people. The employment generation of this city is also fairly good, standing at 90 million square feet is the total commercial and IT office space of this city. The third most appreciating city is Hyderabad. This city today stands at a weighted average price of 8,500 rupees a square foot and has appreciated annually at the rate of 16% year on year. It is a classic example of great infrastructure and good employment generation. The overall commercial supply stands at 150 million square feet. If you look at the supply, 5 years ago it used to be only 25,000 units for a population which is roughly 11 million people. Today, that supply has gone up to 95,000 units, which is a cause of a little bit of concern going forward. And you should be careful when you invest in the city going forward. The second most appreciating city on the list will surprise you. This used to be an end user city and never used to appreciate that much. This city is Bengaluru. This city has appreciated by 20% year on year and today stands on a weighted average price scale of 10,020 rupees. Employment generation is the number one reason why the city has appreciated the most. If you look at the overall commercial office space, it's 273 million square feet, roughly double of Hyderabad. And if you look at the population, it is 11 million people as well. But this city has outdone Hyderabad also because the supply has been almost half of Hyderabad. This city has been consistently supplying only roughly 50,000 units year on year, which is very healthy for a size of a city of 12 million people. And finally, the number one city, and no surprises, it happens to be Delhi NCR. With a maximum population of 33.8 million people, this city has the lowest supply of roughly 28,000 units only. 10 years ago, the supply used to be 150,000 units, and in the last 5 years, that supply has dismally come down. The city today is at a weighted average price scale of 19,500 rupees a square foot with respect to Gurgaon. With respect to Noida, it is 16,000 rupees a square foot, and Delhi has very limited supply, so we don't count that. If you look at the overall price appreciation, it is a whopping 30% year on year. It is the only city in India that has outdone the stock markets by miles. The employment generation over here also is fantastic. The overall commercial supply stands at 225 million square feet, which is the second largest in the country. And the infrastructure is also pretty good. So if you look at all the factors, NCR scores very high, and that's why the appreciation has done well. If you look at employment generation, low supply, good infrastructure, and high population, it stands at number one on all the parameters. And that's why the price appreciation has been so high. If you liked our video, please share, subscribe, and this is Samir signing off.